Lovely, here we go. So, my name's Owen, folks. I'll be your demonstrator for today. You've already said you're brand new to caravanning, so I will literally start at sighting and levelling your van. Then I'll talk you through all the additional starter pack that you've got here. Then I'll move on to the caravan itself. We'll talk around all the features externally, jump inside, and I'll talk about all the features internally as well. If you've got any questions at any point, please feel free to stop and ask away. There's no such thing as a stupid question, so please just fire away if you've got any doubts or you're unsure about anything. And the main aim of today is I'm not going to make you an expert in caravanning in an hour, or maybe an hour and a half, or maybe two, but I want to give you enough of the basic knowledge so you can go out and start enjoying yourselves in it. Okay, so first thing I'll talk about is cycling and levelling your van. Now obviously on our, once that's finished, on our Love to Stay up there, all of our pitches are virtually level. There's only a slight lean on our pitches, so when you get up there, spirit level inside, check on the level left to right. The way to level it off up there would just be wind the legs down on the side of the van, you know, to raise it up. But when I say a little bit, I mean literally if the bobble's just touching the edge on a spirit level. If the bobble's, say, all the way to the one side, the way you level it up then is wood underneath the wheels. So if you imagine, put it on your pitch first while you're still attached to the car, get your spirit level out, pop it inside. If you've got a severe lean, obviously what you need to do is put some wood down on the side you need to raise up, pull the caravan forward, put the wood where the tyres were, and then obviously just reverse the caravan up onto the wood. So imagine when you reverse it up, you'll level it up and pull it level. Now you may think, level, why do I need to level your caravan? First thing is for your own comfort, because imagine if you spend a week leaning in something like that, it will be uncomfortable, and plus for things like your fridge and obviously your drainage system as well, it needs to be as level as it can. The system will not operate if you're on a slope. Okay, so left to right is done underneath the tyres, and then front to back is done off the jockey wheel at the front. So all it is you wind this up and down to raise and lower the nose of the caravan. Okay, so left to right first, and then front to back. Once you've got front to back level, you can then look at winding your four legs down on the caravan. The main sort of misconception about caravan is they think the legs on here are like jacks, and you can lift the caravan up in the air with it, and they're not. The steadies, the stabilisers. So if you're on a slight lean, yes, you can level it off slightly, but it certainly will not lift the caravan up in the air for you. Okay? So, other than that, I'll move on to your starter pack that you've got here. So, you've got your Waste Master, which is obviously for your grey waste, so that's all the waste water out your sinks and your shower. Acarol is obviously for your fresh water. You've got your waste pipe, so that's attaching to the caravan, and then you can either attach it to the Waste Master, or up on Love to Stay, you can literally put that directly into a drain. So you don't have to worry about your waste, it just goes straight down the drain. Don't have to worry about it. Then, moving on to here, we've got your toilet chemicals. So the pink chemical is for your flush, so that's what you flush the toilet with, but I'll show you that on the way round. And then the green toilet chemical is the one that goes actually in the toilet cassette, and what it does, it starts to break down all the nasties in there and eliminates all the odours. So when you're emptying your toilet cassette, it just smells like you're emptying a chemical toilet. It doesn't smell like what it is. Okay. Now you get blue or green liquid. The reason we've given you green liquid is up on Love to Stay you can actually empty the toilet on the pitch. So where on other caravan sites you have to disconnect your toilet thing and trundle along and walk sort of half a mile to the toilet point, up at Love to Stay you can actually empty it on the pitch where you are. So there's no walking around with your toilet to empty it.
What do you mean empty it on the pitch?
So there's a drain actually on your pitch where you are. So when we say super pitches up there, it means you can pull on your pitch and there's everything you need. So there's all the drainage you need, all the electrics and all the water. You could literally come in, plug in, fit your water system and everything, and you would not have to leave that gravelled area until you finish your holiday. Okay.
Lovely.
Other than that then, we've got your towing mirrors. Now it is law that when you're on the main road you need to have your mirrors on for when you're towing. The other thing that is law as well is you have to take them back off when you've not got a caravan on, which I've got a quite bad one for driving down the road with them still on. I keep getting shouted at for it, so make sure you take them off when you're coming back. Then we've got a mains water supply. So what this is, it goes inside your Acarol and it gives you mains running water to the van. So rather than where as normal, you'd fill your Acarol up, once you've emptied all your water, you need to take it to the tap and refill it. With this system here, you can run it directly from the tap to your Acarol, and this, it's like a ball cock inside there, so as you use the water out the Acarol, the ball cock drops and it will refill your Acarol for you. So it's like having constant running water. So obviously if you imagine when you're up on the pitch up there, you can have constant running water, your waste going straight into the drain, and it means you don't really have to do anything with your water system. Okay, then obviously we've got your step and your hitch lock. So your hitch lock locks over the top of your hitch here.
Okay.
Okay, it locks over the top, and then there's a bar which locks in underneath. They are simple to use. All it is, they just slot over the top of there. Now the locks are designed for obviously any time you leave it anywhere, lock it up.
Okay.
Because obviously if you don't, I could pull up to this and have it away in about 10 seconds flat. But obviously with the locks on, it's deterrent and it's a lot more effort if someone does want to pinch your caravan. The other advice with them hitch locks is if you're going on a long journey and you stop at services, especially if you're going in for something to eat, lock it to the back of the car where you are. Because imagine even in a service station, they can still come up behind you, and if this isn't locked, they can simply pull it off the back of your car, roll it away, hook it on the back of theirs, and they're gone.
Okay.
So make sure you're locking it onto the vehicle when you stop at services. Okay.
So once it's attached to the tow bar,
Yeah.
you can actually lock it on the tow bar. Or you have to decouple it from the
I
tow
wouldn't, no, leave it locked onto the car. The main advice is don't have it locked on when you're travelling, but when you get to services, so imagine now it'll be on the car like that.
Yeah.
All you need to do when you get to the services, lift your stabiliser up, pop your lock on, lock it in, and then go into the services.
Okay.
Before you get back on the road, I would come and take the lock back off. They do say you can't leave it locked to the car, but just say in the worst case scenario, this sets on fire, the last thing I'd want to be doing is undoing a lock there to get it away before it burns my car down. So I'd rather just be able to uncouple it and take it away from the vehicle.
Is that quite straightforward to put on as well, is it?
Yeah. It's literally so simple. It just drops on over the top, and then you see this bar, the silver bar there.
Yeah.
The silver bar just slides out. So you drop it on, slide the silver bar back in, and that's what locks it to it as such. And I mean, you look how well, you'll feel how heavy it is when you touch it in a minute. It's a fair old sturdy thing. They're the best ones on the market you can get. So you certainly, it's a good deterrent for thieves. So they'll think twice. They'll take the one next door that hasn't got one on.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool, yeah.
So, other than that, we'll move on to the actual features that are on your caravan now. So, at the front here is your stabiliser hitch. Now, if you notice, when I close this down, do you see this closing in? So if I open it back up, and when it closes down, it goes in.
Okay.
What that's doing is gripping onto your tow ball. So it gives you added stability when you're going down the road. For that reason, it needs to be grease-free and paint-free. The cleaner your tow ball, the better the stabiliser will work for you.
Okay.
Okay, then underneath, got your main hitch. Yellow is your breakaway cable. 13 pin for your lights and your electrics. Handbrake is as easy as handbrake off, handbrake on.
Okay.
Just as simple as that. Jockey wheel obviously winds up and down, and then you can raise and lower it off the bar here. But as daft as it is, all of this will make a lot more sense when I hook it up to the car for you afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. So moving into your gas locker on the front, we've also got your mains power cable, your leg winder, and then your wheel brace as well. Okay, so you've got all the bits inside there that you need.
Okay.
I've got your
Sorry, what is that?
wheel brace. So this is for checking your wheel nuts.
Okay.
Okay, but I'll explain, as daft as it is, everything will make sense as I go around, so I'll explain it all for you. We've got your gas system inside here. This will be your gas pipe, and I will have your bottle attached in ready to go for you.
Okay.
So for your gas system, all it basically is just switch your bottle on and off directly on the top of the gas. Okay, so when you want to
So
use...
is there room for two there?
Yeah, you can run with the 2 bottles. I'd say for yourself, just start off with the 1.
Yeah.
They are so easily replaced. You can get gas bottles from virtually everywhere. Obviously, Salad Leisure do the best gas.
Obviously.
But no, you can get gas from anywhere. So I'll make a start on. I know people that have had the same bottle for 6 years because they don't use any gas. It all depends on how much gas you're using. You'll use more gas if you're wild camping where you've not got electric.
Yeah.
So imagine you're running everything on gas.
We're not going to do that, are we, love?
So no, that's perfect then. A gas bottle, that'll probably last you, it'll probably do you as the season.
Right.
As such. There is a shut-off valve at the back here, but that's more for when the guys are safety checking your van. So for yourself, I'll show you on the top of this. Yeah. It's just simply on and off for your bottle directly here. Okay. Main thing with the gas is only have it on when you're stationary with the vehicle. Just switch it on when you're using it as such. Okay, when you're not, just turn it off.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy with that so far? Yeah. My only advice will be on the front end, watch how much weight you're putting in here.
Yeah.
If you're ever travelling with anything heavy, it wants to be between the wheels of the caravan. If you imagine if you fill this full of stuff up here, you'll make it nose end heavy.
Yeah.
So you'll find she'll be tail end happy when it goes down the road. The same as if you load everything in the back of your caravan, again, she'll be tail end happy. So if you're ever taking it down the road and you notice she's a bit swingy, the thing to do is stop, have a look where you've got the weight and perhaps put some weight across the centre of the
When
caravan.
we've got, when we're going to load it up to the car, I've got a nose weight.
Oh, perfect.
Maybe, can we test it out?
Yeah,
It's supposed to be 75 kilos.
Yeah.
That's sort of for that car. So.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
perfect. Yeah, we'll sort that out for you, not a problem. So, we'll mosey on down the side. Now your legs are in the four corners, so there's one here, one duplicate on the other side, and then the other two are on the back. Okay? And all you do is leg winder on there and wind and wind and wind away, and the legs just literally arc down. We don't put the front legs down now because we've only got your back for the demonstration. It's easier for us to pack it away again.
Okay.
But obviously when you're on site, once you've got it level, you'll then go around and wind all four of your legs down. Okay?
Yep.
When you've wound them down to the floor, especially if you're using a manual one, when you get down to the floor, just give it about 1 or 2 extra turns just to make sure they're nice and stable on the floor.
Okay.
Okay.
Do these ones have, are they just metal or do they actually have the plastic on them?
Yeah, no, they've got plastic feet on them as well. Yeah, you've got
Cool.
big plastic feet on
We
them
don't need
as
to buy
well, which
them.
is really good for our gravel up there.
Yeah.
Because you will find with the metal ones, it will sink slightly, but with the plastic, it gives you more of an even pressure on the floor.
Okay.
So, first thing we come across, this is my Acarol, but obviously you've got your own one there. So, this is your water inlet pipe. All it is, you squeeze the trigger, gentle wiggle, and off she comes. All there is on the end there is a particle filter. So it just stops any bits coming into your water system.
So the pump's actually inside?
Yeah, it pumps on board. So all you do is just simply drop that into your Acarol and clip it on.
Okay.
That's it.
And
As
the
simple as
mains water fitting, where does that
that. Yeah, it screws into the front or the back. Sorry, it is here. Into there. So obviously when it's empty, you just unscrew that and it screws into the side of it.
Easy, yeah.
Only advice with them, make sure you got it up the right way. It'll probably, it takes me about 10 attempts to do it, so it'll probably take you a good 10 attempts as well. All it is just watch it when you're screwing it in because it'll spin round. It'll take you a couple of attempts, but once you've got it screwed in at the right angle, you'll hear it filling. If it's not filling, obviously it's not turned round in the correct angle.
Cool.
Okay?
Yep.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. So, next one down, this is the vent for your hot water boiler. Okay, so you've got a 10 litre hot water boiler inside the caravan. If you're running it on electric, you can leave this cover on, and this cover just sits over the top like that.
Okay.
But if you want to run it on gas, you have to remove the cover. All it is a weight on the top, and just gently pull it out from the bottom.
Alright.
Okay?
Yep.
So electric for your hot water, cover on. If you're trying to light the gas, remember you've got to take this cover off.
Right.
Alright.
Okay. So, next one down. Then got your 240, your mains electrical hookup.
Okay.
So this is obviously where your main power comes from for the caravan. You've obviously got your 12 volt system here, but your 12 volt system is limited power inside the caravan. All it really runs is like your lights, and then like the sparkers and the ignition for the gas systems, and that's about it really, where the main majority of your power inside, like your plug sockets and your cooker and things, are all run off the
So
electric.
this will run the motor mover as well?
Yeah, this will run the motor
And
mover, no worries.
What kind of time do you have on that in terms of the motor mover? Roughly?
Roughly, I mean, you'd quite easily get from here back out to our car park.
Back out to the car
Yeah,
park?
back out to the car park,
Okay.
quite easily. But then what you'll find is it will flatten the battery as such. It is a massive drain on the
And
battery.
then once you plug it back in, does it recharge?
Yeah.
Oh, so it
So
recharges.
what this 240 is doing, as well as giving you power in the van, it's running a battery charger, recharging at your 12 volt system. So when you're plugged into the mains, this battery is always fully charged for you.
Great.
Okay, but then obviously when you're using your motor mover, they're designed for short distances. So imagine really, say this was your pitch, you'd probably use the motor mover to take it off the tarmac there and put it inside here. And that would be about it. So what, it's 10 metres, do you know what I mean? And you know there's enough power, then you can take it back off with your motor mover. It's only real long distances that it will start to struggle as such, but it's not very often you're using your motor mover for that long.
Great.
Okay, so mains power hookup. The next one we've got here is an external aerial feed. So do you ever remember back in the day,
Yeah,
you'd see people with a TV antenna out here and then a cable up through the window. Yeah. All this is for is rather than putting the cable through the window, you can plug it into there and I'll show you where it comes out inside the van.
Okay.
Okay, it's set up for TV at the minute. You can, if you take that attachment off, run a satellite from it. So if you're ever on a site where they've got a satellite feed on the post, you can run your cable from there to there and you can receive a satellite signal inside the van.
Alright.
Okay, then underneath, the little black one with this red key is the mains isolator power for your motor mover. So that's how you send the battery power to the motor mover. Okay. But I'll give you a demonstration in that afterwards once we're finished.
Alright.
Okay, so next one down's got your fridge vents. Now I have got your fridge running on gas currently at the minute, so a lot more heat comes out of this one end. Okay, because it's just where the gas burners come out for your fridge.
Okay.
Other than that, heat is exchanged out the back of these. It's no different than our fridges at home. All it is you don't walk back around the back of your fridge at home, so you don't realise quite how much heat they're chucking out. Okay. Obviously, motor mover that you can see down there, but as I say, I'll give you a quick demonstration in that afterwards. Where obviously my bucket is your 2 grey waste outlets. So that's for your kitchen sink, your bathroom sink and your shower.
Okay.
And this is where obviously you'll put your 2 grey pipes. And as on Love to Stay, obviously you can run your pipe and just put it in the drain, which is here. Or you can obviously use your Waste Master there and fill it.
All right.
With your Aquarol and your Waste Master, your Aquarol's 40 litres, your Waste Master's 50 litres. So 9 out of 10 times, if you've used all your fresh water, it's time to empty your Waste Master. Okay. But obviously if you're on a posh site like us up there, you'll have your mains adapter filling your Aquarol and you'll have this going directly to a drain, so you don't have to worry about wastewater or water because you've got a constant supply.
All right. Yep.
So, next one down, here is your lovely toilet. This is normally our job, but you do find the odd lady that will, oh no, there was the look. So, let's see if I use the right key. What it is in the top here is called the flush tank. So this is where it's the pink solution and then some water. You will need like a bottle, or some people use a watering can or something. I tended to just use a length of hose pipe, because on the pitch up there you'll find the taps here, so as long as you've got the small length of hose you can just run it and just fill it up.
Okay.
Now for filling it up, it holds about 5 or 6 litres of water. Obviously put your pink solution in first and then just top it up with the water. And all this is when you flush your toilet, this is the tank where it pulls that solution from.
Yeah.
And the pink liquid inside just adds a nice fragrance to the toilet when you're flushing it.
So can you overfill it?
Yeah, if you overfill this, all it will do is come out of here.
Okay, so we just fill it basically to the white line?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, it doesn't matter the amount of times I've overflowed mine by sticking a hose pipe in and then chatting away to someone else and and there's water flowing everywhere. It won't flood inside, it will literally just come out of here.
Right,
It sort of runs down the outside of the van.
Okay.
But I would fill this up for as much as you think you're going to use the toilet.
Because if you can't get it out once.
Yeah, you can drain it,
Okay.
but obviously it's easier to take less out than it is to fill it up. So what I tend to do is obviously if you pull onto a site and the toilets are 2 metres away, I'll probably only stick a couple of litres in it. But obviously if you pull up to a site and the toilets are 500 metres away, I'll probably fill it up because you're going to use your toilet more.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's easy enough to fill it up. It's not a disaster if it's run out of water. All it is, you've got no flush with the toilet as such.
Do you have to empty it every time we move? Or can we leave it in?
I would personally, because if you leave it full and when you're going down the road, there is a chance it can slosh out inside the van.
Right, okay.
So I would drain it off, but I'll show you now how to drain it off. Okay. So below, so remember, flush tank on the top, so your pink liquid and water in the top. Below is now your
Cassette.
business end.
Yeah.
So for the cassette, all it is pull the handle, pull her out. Now she is trolley dolly, so no excuses for the ladies not emptying them. You'll have a black eye in a minute. I'll show you the drain down to this first. It lives in the top there in a black rubber hose.
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Oh wow, there's 2. Oh, I've never come across that.
I wonder what the other one does.
No. I might have to ask about that because I've never ever seen 2. That one's definitely it.
Yeah.
It may just be a secondary one. I'll ask one of our engineers because I've never seen that before. But all it is just pull that rubber bung out and you can drain the contents of this tank down.
Okay.
Now what I tend to use is, you know them square squash bottles?
Yeah.
I keep one of them and all I do is drain mine off every time I'm finished, stick the bottle back in my gas locker, and the next time I go away all I need to do is just tip it in. I see loads of people tipping it away and I think, come on, you paid for it. What's the point in tipping it down the drain? And then you've got solution there ready. So I mean, even if you only stick a litre in, if you run out of flush, all you need to do is go in your blocker and you've got some there just to top it back up again.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, winter time, definitely drain this down. When you need to winterise your van, it means taking all the water and all the solutions out of it, because obviously water freezes. If anything freezes up inside your van, it will split pipes and everything. So definitely before you set off, drain it, but definitely winter time, make sure you drained all the water out of it.
That's what that is. That could be draining the taps and things like that in there. So
No, that's inside the van, that is. Believe me, in 2 years, I've never seen 2 in there, so it's baffled me. If my colleague comes up...
What is that thing there? Is that like a filter or something?
That's a filter. It's more designed when they go into motorhomes, because they have like a carbon filter underneath it. Because you imagine in a motorhome, it's got nowhere to go, so it's fresh in a motorhome, where inside here, you've got the ventilation through there, so you don't need the filter in there. Other than that, for your lovely toilet cassette. the way you use it.
Yeah.
So, there is a slight measuring guide for your blue or your green solution. But what I tend to do is just a cap full of green liquid, cap full of water. Screw it back up.
Okay.
Push it in. Okay? And then what the chemicals do in there, as I say, breaks everything down and neutralises all the odours. When it's full, it will light up inside to let you know when it's your turn to empty it. So obviously up at Love to Stay, all you need to do is pull it out, turn around, lift the grid up, unscrew it, tip it upside down and press the button at the back there. Okay. And everything obviously will all empty outside of there for you.
Cool.
Okay?
Yep.
Once you've done that, I would just swill it out and then obviously put your liquid back in before you recharge it.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy.
And then all it is it nicely just, well, let's put those away. I'm still baffled by two. Then all it is, it nicely slots in and it's just the bottom of the handle that locks it into place for you. Okay.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So, we'll mosey on round the back. Now, have you got a number plate or are they making one for you today?
Well, yeah, it should be being made, I suppose.
Yeah? Did you bring your logbook and everything for the car?
That was, I came in a while ago and gave
Oh, you've done it? Oh, perfect, perfect. Yeah, they've probably got it inside there for you. Other than that, your rear legs are both on the back of the van, and you can see your plastic feet that you've got on your legs there as well.
Nice.
Now,
Where
obviously,
do those get wound?
here on the end. See the nut there?
Oh, it's there on there.
Yeah, yeah, the same on the other one. So the front two are on the side, the back two are just on the end.
Okay.
Now, with your legs, always make sure you put back legs down if you ever want to go in it and you're not attached to anything.
Okay.
So imagine if you've got it on your driveway, always put your back legs down. You may laugh, you'll only do it once. If you walk into the back of the caravan, she'll go clunk up in the air. I've seen it done many a time. So just, obviously if you're attached to the car...
Our drive does, where this is going to go, there's a bit of an incline where this is going to go.
Yeah.
So the front's going to be a lot lower than the back.
Yeah, so definitely make sure you put your back
These
legs
have to
down
go
before you
down,
walk in it.
And then if there's not enough in it to take it down, then you just put wood underneath it.
Yeah,
Chalk
exactly.
it
Just chalk it up with some
Okay.
decent sized blocks. Don't go for anything too fiddly. Imagine the longer you are, the more the pressure's spread out for you.
Okay.
Okay. Now the other thing is handles. So you'll notice you've got handles on the front and handles on the back.
Yeah, what's that
If
for?
you ever have to manhandle your caravan around, always do it by the handles. Don't push on the bodywork because you can find you can crack these panels. So always push and pull it by the handles if you ever need to.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
They're not for skateboarders to hold on so you can take them down the road. So, coming round to the side now, we've got your lovely underbed locker.
Oh, good.
Okay, so it's dual access. You can obviously lift the bed internally,
Yeah.
or you can open it up on the outside here. Fantastic storage spaces, but just watch what you're putting in here for travelling.
Okay.
Same as I say, overloading your front locker. If you overload this at the back, she will definitely be tail end happy when you go down the road.
Oh, that's awesome. Put all the bedding in there.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So things like bedding, deck chairs, anything light like that, stick it in there. Obviously, when you get to site, you can cram whatever you like in there,
Yeah.
but for travelling, keep it down to a minimum. And the vents you see here,
Yeah.
there's numerous of them around inside the van. Whenever you're putting stuff in, always try and leave them open. What they are is gas escapes. So if you ever have a gas leak inside your van, gas is obviously heavier, it sinks. If you've got them uncovered, the gas will simply just sink out the van. So it's not a danger to you, but obviously if you've got all them covered up, the gas has got nowhere to go,
Yeah.
it is a danger then. So try and keep them as clear as you can, so obviously if you do ever have a gas leak, it can escape out the van.
Okay. Cool.
Okay?
Yep.
So, nosing on down, get to your door next, so you have got the lovely door catch on there. If you've had any visitors round, especially if you've had a few of them, make sure you show them that, because you will be amazed at the amount of these and the amount of those we replace. Someone will walk up, they'll pull the door once, it doesn't go, so they'll give it a good rag, and believe me, these will snap quite easily. So if you've got any visitors round, just make sure you do show them the door catch. Okay. So, wheels and tyres, they make it nice and easy and put all the details here on the door for us. So it's 63 PSI per tyre.
Okay.
And I know it's not on this one, but it is inside your book. It's 130 newton meters for your wheel nuts. Okay, so that's the tension for your wheel nuts. They've been talked in the PDI. I will do them again for you today, but then from today onwards it's down to yourself. If you've got a torque wrench, fantastic. If not, just use your tyre iron that's in the front there.
Yeah.
All it is make sure your wheel nuts are nice and tight before you get on the road.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Because I can't measure torque unless I've got a torque wrench.
No. So if you haven't, all it is just make sure your wheel nuts are tight. All it is, there was a certain caravan company, Bailey, that for a spate their wheels kept coming off their caravans, so they blanketed the whole industry now, and we have to tell people you need to tighten up your wheel nuts. The same as we all do before we get in our cars and get on the road and that, don't you? But no, pleased with your caravan. The main thing is they're left unattended for long periods of time, so you don't know if someone's been a fool and fiddling around with them. It takes 30 seconds to check them, and it gives you a lot of peace of mind when you're going down the road. Okay. So, last few bits. Got your good old wet locker in the front there. So it's ideal for wet, dirty towels or dirty walking boots. It is a sealed unit as such, so you can put anything smelly and horrible inside there and it won't stick your van out inside.
Okay.
Okay, and then you've got a 240, an external main socket there that we managed to... There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And then last but not least is gas BBQ Point.
Oh really? Okay.
So this is where you can run a gas appliance outside, whether it's a barbecue or a heater or anything like that. All you need to do is buy the brass fitment that clicks up inside of that. You obviously attach the other end to the rubber hose to your barbecue or your burner, whatever you're doing. All you need to do is have your gas on in the front, and it automatically comes through so you can run off an external gas power as well.
Okay. Cool.
Best thing is if you've got an awning,
Yeah.
always cook outside your awning. Don't cook inside your awning.
Okay.
Because gas fumes and that in a confined space, you'll have a very big sleep
Okay.
for a very long time.
Okay.
Carbon
So,
monoxide.
yeah. Okay. So always cook outside, never cook inside your awning.
Right. I'm just because we are getting an awning.
Yeah.
I'm just going around this. I've
Yeah.
seen a few where it comes out like that. Is that intentionally
Yeah,
like that?
yeah.
So I
That's
got
where you
another
make it. That's where you start it off.
one- Another one there. So
Yeah.
that's where you pop it in and then.
Yeah.
slide it
So
around.
imagine you get your start point. So imagine you start from this end with that end, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
So you start here with it, and that's the bit where you can fold it in and then just pull it and follow it all the way around. There is a couple of different spots. So there's one up there, there's one down here.
Okay, so
You can
that's all
start
intentional.
wherever just to pull it through.
Alright.
And that's just where you get access into the runners, and then it will just stay in the runners then for when you pull it round.
Okay.
It is a 2 or a 3 man job sometimes that you just have to hold it. Imagine while the other person's pulling it along. They do call them divorces in a bag. So just sit back and relax when you're doing it. Don't get into tiswas over it.
Yeah,
We're
look at
thinking
the
about
beginning
getting
of the
a
one.
camper 400. Would that fit this? Okay.
I wouldn't know. I'm not an awning expert, sadly, but the guys in our shop are as
no.
such. I can tell you all the do's and don'ts to do, but when it comes to awnings, I'm a bit out of my league there.
Okay.
But the guys in the shop will soon let you know what will or won't fit the van.
Lovely.
And I would recommend the air ones because they are
Yeah.
fantastic. All it literally is just slide it round and then
A little bit less of a divorce.
and it just pops up and it's there. Then all you need to do is peg it in.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier. The reason with the poles is you have to figure out which pole goes where. Once you've got the hang of them, they're all right.
Yeah,
But there
well-
will be a lot of, I told you to do that. No, I didn't know that one. No, I want this one, not that one. So yeah, it's quite easier too. Just a man. Can you have a look in the toilet? There's 2 black drain-off pipes. It's confusing me.
No, some of they have them on some of them.
I've never seen
There
it.
was a retrofit.
So both of them drain the same tank?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
On the one certain one, they had an extra one because it wasn't draining down. And
Oh, well, there you go. So when you're draining it off, just drain them out the 2 pipes. Okay. Now that's about it for the outside, unless you've got any other questions on the outside.
Just sealing around these.
Yeah.
Is it working just going around with a silicone gun and doing it up, or is that not done?
I mean, you can do, but obviously the vehicle's had a full PDI, pre-delivery inspection. So our guys would have gone round, they were all fully trained in there. If anything needed doing, they would touch it up. I know what you're saying, cosmetically wise, it doesn't look too, but for our guys, it's good enough for it to do it as such. So yeah, if you wanted to, you could,
But in
but
terms of maintenance, is that something you do regularly, or is it just something?
no, it's something that they tend to do on your services
On
and
the
things.
annual
Every time you
services.
bring it in for a service, they will damp test it.
Yeah.
All caravans do get damp eventually at some point, but obviously if they spot it early, it's an easy problem to solve as such. It's when they're not regularly checked that all of a sudden a little bit of water could be getting in here, and say it's a 2-minute job to fix it when they notice to start with, but if you leave it for 2 or 3 years, all of a sudden this whole end of the caravan's saturating and it's all rotten.
Okay.
So it's just,
During winter storage,
yeah.
I was thinking about getting a dehumidifier for it. Is that done or not? Is that a good idea or?
You can do. My colleague here doesn't rate them though, do you, Pete?
well, not the crystal ones.
No, I mean like an electrical
Okay.
dehumidifier.
It's possible. Probably what you got to realise is there's vents in the bottom of the floor.
Yes.
So as you're drawing whatever water out of the atmosphere, it's drawing more damp air into the van as such. So
what's the best thing to do
the
during
best thing is
winter
just to
time?
have heating on every now and again. If you've got it stored at home or in storage.
It's going to be at home. So I can
No,
just run a
every
cable
now
out
and
to
again,
it and thermostat on it.
Yeah, every now and again, just either run the heating that's in it, just air it out every now and again.
Okay.
That'll dry it out.
That's fine.
Yeah, or an extra heater if you wanted to.
So that's all. Alright, cool.
Yeah, well, I'll show you your heating inside, and you can either run it on gas or electric. So you can get it plugged in. You can just leave the heater on electric and say once a week, just come in, fire it on, leave it on for sort of